Hey guys, so I don't know what I'm going to name this video. I'm thinking probably like car chat or something. I'm waiting for my daughter to bring me out my laptop charger because I think I'm about to go to Starbucks, do some work. But I've been wanting to do like story time videos and like I guess like car chat for a while. Is that my headphones? Yeah, I've been wanting to do these videos for a while. I be having so much to talk about, but I don't know, for whatever reason I don't. Long story short, I'm listening to my guy. I haven't listened to him in a while, but I love this content creator, Trend Genius. Why is something clicking in my ear? Yeah, okay, his name is Trend Genius anyway, and he's I don't know how it popped up, but he's talking about friends and being, you know, his content is always around being a chosen one and just like how people treat us, how people treat the chosen ones. Now, I'm not into like star seeds, and I'm too simple to know all the ins and outs about like chosen one. Like I don't want to claim to be a speaker for chosen ones because I don't know that much about it. He's just been talking about how people know you're chosen and the things that they'll do to you. He was just talking about how your friends will get you into stuff and how people do chosen ones and how we kind of see it coming, right? And we see these things, right? And I never had a word for it. I've seen things, or I had feelings about things, but I didn't have a word for it, and I would ignore it, right? The old Brittany. I feel like now there's like two different Britneys. I feel like there's the past Brittany, there's the now Brittany, and there's the future Brittany. I guess like that's how I sum up a lot of stuff in my life, right? So with that being said, okay, yeah, my headphones are dying. That's why we're going through what we're going through. I probably should just take them out. So with that being said, I went through different stages in my life, right? And at one point, it was me just like having feelings about stuff, like me just having feelings about people, about things, and knowing like something's up there. But so many people, I have been like beat over the head with, I don't know, I guess I would say conformity, that it would put those feelings in a shadow. Like it would make me downplay what I thought. There was a time where I was just completely oblivious to it. I was blind. I was just like, no, it's me. Like I internalized everything to be me. I'm the problem. You know, it's my fault. I did this. That's why they did that. Or, you know, I will always internalize it to be me. Then I went to like, stuff is wrong with people, but they always blaming it on me, right? And then I went through a phase where it's like, no, it's not everybody, Brittany. If it's everybody, then it's you. It's probably you, right? And then for a while, I felt like my life was getting better, and I had this big revelation of that. Like, it wasn't the teachers, it wasn't, you know, other people, it was me. I needed to get myself together. I was being selfish, immature, and just like unaware, and now I'm not. I went through that phase too, and now in later years, I'm more back to like, nah, people crazy. Like, people got some issue with them, and I'm just the only one that sees it. And now I'm strong enough to be like, I don't need that in my life. I know that I'll find my people. I haven't yet, so I'm in that place where like, you gotta be like, you can't say that you like 100% sure that you right? I'm never 100% sure that I'm right about anything. And I also am starting to have the understanding that there's not always a right or wrong. There may be a better option, like a not good and a better option. Hold on. But yeah, so I always think back on like scenarios and situations that happened to me when I was younger, and it just like, I feel like they always say like every 4 to 7 years you evolve, or you actually like change. Like, I guess we never, you know, really change, but you know what I mean. You mature or grow. You're a different person than you were 4 or 7 years ago. You evolve into a new version of yourself, so to speak. So I've been hearing people say that somewhere between like 4 and 7 years, every 4 to 7 years of your life. So every like 4 to 7 years of my life, I start to look back and like re-go over those same scenarios. Sometimes there's new scenarios, there's different scenarios, and I just like assess it like with a bird's eye view. Me being in therapy, my therapist, so she now gave me this new idea. It was like, look at your situation, because when I start to ruminate on certain things that just are small, but to me they are so heavy, she's like, look at it like you're up in the sky and it's small. And like, I guess bird's eye view, I don't know if she called it that, but that's how I pictured it when she said it. And she was basically like, take yourself out of the situation and then look at it from that point, like you're on the bleachers looking in, and like, what would you do? Like, it seems so simple then. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, it's not that, like, I'm over here ruminating, I need to move away because I can't, I hate walking my dog, and he's not potty trained yet. He's 2, and I'm scared to touch my cat, and she needs to be groomed. So those are dire situations, and I need to run away. Seriously, that's how I felt for a long time. And I would ruminate every time, like I would have to clean up pee. I would ruminate on like, I just need to run away. Every time I would look at that cat and she has a hairball, thanks babes, somewhere, I would ruminate on me just running away. And that's a whole nother story, because I actually still feel like I need to move away, but I'm not running from anything. When I have these new thoughts now, it's for different reasons, but that's neither here nor there. I'm getting off topic, per usual, per Brittany. And this is why I hate making videos. This is why I struggle so much with making videos, because I feel like I'm all over the place, and I feel like if I'm all over the place, then I'm not going to reach anybody, and I feel like I'm just talking shit, and it's not useful to nobody. I feel like it's just me rambling, and it's not like this is a scrap video, Anyway, I say all to say, I'm listening to Trent. He's talking about how, just people do stuff to you all the time, and, how you didn't notice it, or sometimes we do notice it. And he was like, a chosen one, when people try to do you wrong, they end up messing themselves up. And, I just try to believe, I think at one point in my life, I was believing the stories, right? Like, even being a big girl, people like want me to believe that, like, I don't have the typical big girl narrative or story. Did I get bullied? Yes. Did people call me fat? Yes. Right? But I didn't have trouble, like, dating. I didn't have, like, trouble. I have trouble dating, trust me. But, like, I didn't have trouble with people finding me attractive. I wasn't the fat friend that nobody wanted. I didn't have that narrative growing up. At least I didn't. I don't think I did. But I don't say that to brag. I say that because what I had, I feel like is not worse, but it has its own hindered, its own barriers, I guess. Like what I had is, because I'm a chosen one and people seeing something special in me, and I was a big girl, I feel like I got it worse. I feel like people try to remind me, because the world, because when you're a chosen one, right, stuff just happens for you. Some stuff happens to you. You just get blessed in unpredicted, unforeseen ways, right? You just get, like, blessed. You just always get the good end of a stick coming out. It doesn't feel that way to you either, because I've never felt that way. It feels like that to other people, right? So and it's so like contradictory, because to us, or to me, I always felt like I got the short end of the stick. I always felt like I had a lot of trouble. Like my mom always says, I think that's why you, like my mom says, like, I think that's why you had so much trouble growing up. Like that's why you what is the word she used? Because I had like things was hard for me, and not because of circumstances, not because of like violence or like sexual assault, violent trauma, because everyone has trauma. I still have trauma, but I mean, like, I didn't have any serious traumatic things happen in my childhood that's holding me back. It's more just myself and dysfunction. And as much as I thought I was a strong, independent mind, soul, I wasn't. I let the world beat me. Like, I think I always had this struggle in me, right? I always had this struggle because I think I knew what people was telling me was wrong, but I had this, I still have this deep rooted urge to try to convince them. But with doing that, I almost got myself sucked into conforming when that was never me, right? Like, I think about my job and like I almost got sucked in to conforming when that wasn't me. Not only that, I also I feel like I always have to, I'm always trying to prove to people that I'm right. And not right, like, again, because I don't really believe in right or wrong anymore. I'm trying to let go of the right and the wrong. Like, I don't, but that this is a way, that this is, like, how can't you see that this is to be true? But I kill myself trying to do that all the time. Like, I kill my soul each and every time because I'm one person. You can't, like, it's so draining to try to, I think it'll be more beneficial to try to find your people. I think it would have been more peaceful for me to find my way, and to go with that, and then they'll see it, right? Because, like, other people got that. I couldn't get that. I just couldn't get that. I never said why other people were, like, successful, why other people can just go hard in this one area, or, like, and I just seemed to not be able to do that. But I didn't realize I was always trying to fit in, I guess, to convince them that there's another way. And I would get myself sucked in every time, and then I would come out looking crazy, saying something crazy, doing something crazy, and it was like this revolving door of that. I needed to get that out, I guess. I'm hoping that makes sense to somebody somewhere in this universe. And I am now at this stage of, go get it, girl. Go get it yourself, and then they'll see. I can't stay with them. I can't be with people. I always end up losing a piece of myself and then messing up a friendship, a relationship, a mothership, a daughtership, a brothership. Like, all these relationships I've had with the people in my life, friends, family, food, acquaintances, supervisors, just always end up messing up the relationship. And not really me, but me taking on the responsibility because I felt like I knew better, but I didn't listen to myself. Like, I didn't listen to God. I didn't listen to that other voice, that other Brittany that was like, you know better, and you know that this person doesn't know better. But yeah, I always will, I feel like, go into the ring with them, go into the fire with them, and then they end up making me get out my character. And they end up changing me more than I end up changing them. And see, I'm learning that now. I'm learning that now. And it's a good place to be in, but it's also a sad place to be in, because, like they say, when you start realizing that, like, you're the person to all your failures, like, when you start taking responsibility for things that happen in your life, then you have nobody else to blame, and then you're also at the point where it's scary, because you also know that you're the one that has to get you out of it. And that's some hard shit to do. That's some grown-up stuff to do right there. I hope I'm making sense. Hopefully I come back around and we do this thing full circle and all of this flows together. I just really hope it does, because I have something I want to say. I'm just hoping I remember it, and I hope it gets out, and I hope it gets out good, and I hope that I don't punk out, and I hope that I post this. I hope that it reaches somebody. I just hope somebody kind of feels me or understands me, if anything. Understands where I'm coming from, if anything. But that's what Trent was kind of talking about in his video. He was saying that, like, you like, let me go back. Let me finish what I was saying. I think the reason why their power overcame me more than mine did, because I wasn't sure. I was never sure. I was always that's what the tug of war was in my life. I could never figure out what it was. I was never sure. I never went to go get it. I never always went hard. Like, I would go a little bit towards my dreams and then I would pull back. I would go a little bit, get distracted. I would go a little bit, get distracted. I would go a little bit. I would never go full force, like tunnel vision on, like hyper focus and go get it. Go get your dreams. Lose a little weight, then I would go back. Get a little healthy, then I would go back. Start getting on my stuff, and then I would go find a guy. Start getting on my stuff, then I would start going to drugs. Start getting on my stuff, then I might go to jail. Like, I will always flutter back, because what they say too, like, when you lead, when I was reading something, I think it's part of Tao. I think it's in the Tao Te Ching, and it says something like, I heard this saying a lot, but when you're whole, then others will follow you. And I always wanted to be that person that said something good, that gave somebody something, but I didn't realize that I wasn't done growing yet. I knew I had something, and I think that's where I was like, why can other people just do it and I can't? I know I got something. Like, what I'm saying ain't crazy. What I'm saying ain't casting nobody out. It ain't racist. It ain't so far-fetched. Like, it's other ways to live, and you don't have to conform. Like, it's just what. But because I wasn't 100%, and I wasn't completely whole, because it was more like a thought. It was more like a theory I always had. And even though I knew it was true, I never wanted to be the scientist and do the work to answer the hypothesis. It was just like always a hypothesis. But I never did the steps, the scientific method to go through and actually get the results. I never would actually do the statistics and everything to find out if there's cause and effect here. I just always had the hypothesis. The hypothesis was just always floating out there. And as long as it was just a hypothesis, I can allow other people to influence it. If I just start with the hypothesis, then there's so many steps in between where other people can say, well, maybe, what about that? Well, maybe, what about that? Well, maybe, what about this? And I'm like, yeah, well, maybe, yeah. And I'm like so serious, like, nah, I'm pretty sure this is the way. I'm pretty sure we need to go right. And I'm on my way right. And then somebody else come, well, did you see that there's a shortcut this way? I'm like, oh, a shortcut, yeah, let's try that way. I go down that way and I realize there wasn't no goddamn shortcut. You done took me days off my damn trail. Let me go back to the right. And then somebody else come like, oh, if you just go back, that's the way. You can get there going back too, because Earth's a circle. We go back around again, right? You just go back. I'm like, okay, yeah, back sounds right. But then I realized back, and I'm like, but I'm pretty sure right is the way. And I go back right again, and something else, and like always. And I'm now realizing, because I wasn't whole. I was never whole. So how can I expect for me to change someone else? Like, I got so mad. I never understood why I would get so frustrated when you ever have communication with somebody and they're not getting you. Like, I don't get upset because, and I think it seems that way. I think people are like, I'm not getting upset because I'm wrong, right? And you're right. I'm upset because you're not seeing what I'm saying. Like, you're not getting it. And in turn, you're not getting it. You're trying to teach me something. When I'm like, no, I'm trying to give you something. And it just always seemed like I'm at a battle with somebody, something in some way with that in communication, in conversation, anything. And the doc, and then it's been coming to a head a lot more lately. At the doctors, in school, with my parents, with my siblings, like with my daughter. Like, it always just seems like friends, family, everything. It just always seems like you're not hearing what I'm saying. To the point where I even be having dreams that, like, I'm yelling, I'm speaking something, I'm trying, like, something bad is about to happen, and I'm trying to I'm about to cry. I'm trying to tell people, I'm like speaking like, we got to go over here. We got like, something's going to happen. And they don't hear nothing that's coming out my mouth. Like whatever words is coming out my mouth is, why am I getting emotional? They can't understand me. They're like right in front of my face. And they can't understand what I'm saying. I think I'm emotional because I'm finally realizing like what the battle is, what I've been battling all my life, like what that tension was. Like I was always struggling, but I never really understood what I was struggling with. And these past few months, these past couple years, I've been at a place of awareness to like who I am in this world and things I've done and who I want to be, and just really struggling. But that, like I said, it's a hard place to be at, because when you're aware, it's great because it's the first step, and you're just like on this high of just noticing everything, and you're like, how could I not see any of this before? But then it's also very scary, because you also don't know what to do to fix it. So you see all this wrong you did, you see all your bad habits, but you're also I was like so eager to fix it, but I couldn't. I didn't know like where to start to fix it. Like I can see like I did that wrong. I need to do this, but like, how do you do it? How do you do it and do it so consistent that it actually propels you to get towards your dreams? I was just like stuck here. But I was saying I think I'm saying all that to say that, like, yeah, I get that now. I was never whole. And that's why me trying to befriend people or to be in certain situations always ended up with me being the one that was affected the most, because I wasn't whole. I needed that time to figure out it for me. You know, it's like I have so many things inside my head that I haven't went for to prove it right to myself. How can I prove it right to somebody else? It's just theory. It's just talking in the wind. It's like no one wants to listen to you, because you don't even believe it. You half believe it. And that's true. And it makes me feel a little good, because I try not to prove anything to people anymore. Like when I feel myself I try to like get off the phone. Like even when I'm having conversations with like family members of people, even with my daughter, oh my gosh, because she's a teenager, right? And I'll just say something like about like a person or something. We might be at a store, and I'll like be like, that girl, I can tell she's like going through this, or like she did that because she feeling this way. And my daughter will always try to give me a different scenario, and it always used to piss me off. It still pisses me off. However, now I say, okay, that's a way of thinking of it, because like I don't have to get mad at her. I don't have to, like, I used to assign her a problem because it was just my trauma. Like I would call her like oppositional. I would say like, oh, you just being oppositional. And I don't have a right to give her that. I don't think that's her true intention, her brain. But it's just we're not on the same frequency, and that's okay. But if I'll hurt the people around me, and I'll hurt myself if I don't ever find the people that are on my frequency. That's what I'm coming to realize. That didn't really have anything to do with what Trent was talking about, and that had nothing to do with my story time and what I wanted to say. The story that I was about to give y'all. So let me tell y'all now. I want to drive somewhere else, because I'm on place is like, I need a car wash. My place is like on a hill. So I'm like, the car is tilted kind of this way. And I just feel like I don't want it to be. I feel like see, my head's like all up high. I can't even drink my water because the car is tilted. But where am I driving to? I think I'm gonna go to Starbucks. Let me see, especially because this girl keep driving around. I'm not trying to do no talking, so let me get up out of here. I'm gonna be shaking a little bit, y'all. So let me tell y'all the story, and I don't know why, like, I don't know. I guess at the end we can try to relate it to what the hell I was saying, what the hell Trump was saying. I don't know. So I cut a lot of my friends off. I cut everyone off pretty much. A few years ago, whew, that's just a whole nother story. I cut friends off. I cut friends and family off. They had to go. A lot of, either I said we're like boundaries with them, or I cut them off completely. Anyway, I had this friend, and I kind of knew, and this is what he was saying, like, we know, but we go against our better instincts. Or, and this is what I mean by, like, I used to let other people influence me. Like, so and now because YouTube is here, now people are saying, like, you got bad friends, you need to let them go. But before, or the people around me, my family, my mom, my parents, like, my mom always had this saying, like, oh, okay, I'm a butcher it, but let me just say it. It's something like, find new friends and keep the old. Some are silver and some are gold, something like that. And it's basically like, and I used to really admire my mom because, like, for this, because she was trying to teach me to, like, you know how some people try to be, like, some people cannot be friends around other friends, like, when they got one set of friends, and when they with the other friends, they really mean to them. Or, you know, you had a cousin, and then you start showing off in front of the other one, or whatever, and it was like, you don't need to do that. You could be friends, like, you could have different friends, in different settings. Like, you don't got to be mean or be ignorant to your other friends. And I even see females, grown women to this day, act like that. Grown women to this day, they cannot have more than one friend. They gotta love bomb one friend and then totally treat the other one like trash, or they mess up a friendship and then they're on to the next one until they mess up that friendship, and then sometimes they can go back to the other one if that person's like them as well, or they go to a completely different friendship. I've had friends like that. I have no family members like that, and I even know grown, mature women that are like that, right? So, but I'm like almost mad that my mom taught me that though too, because other parents weren't teaching their kids that. So it's very hard. Like, I am the nicest person, and my friends' parents were not teaching them that. So you can imagine what I had to go through, things I went through. So that, like, that, and you shouldn't wish like you didn't get taught good things, but y'all get what I'm saying. Anyway, my mom told me that, but the problem with that was that she had this mindset that you keep your friends, whether they were good or bad. Like, my mom, she still goes through that with her family, and I've always felt like, no, like, people don't treat you right, they need to go. That was my first instinct. But me listening to having my mom in the back of my head, and like just family and friends, not even my mom, other people too in the world, that just kind of felt like, you know, you argue with your family, your friends, and then you guys talk again, or, you know, you go through things, but they're your family, they're your friends, you know, you need to go make up with them. Like, people are always pushing you, like, the more socially acceptable thing to do is to just, you know, make up with them. Forget about whatever they did to you, you know, just make up with them. And I always felt like, no, we should be talking this out. At least it should be some type of acknowledgement or apology or some understanding. You can't just let it go. Like, we don't just talk about that. No. So for a while I didn't. As I started getting older, I used to be like, no, like, me and my cousins got into something, like, no, we need to talk about this, hash this out before we become cool again. And then it came to the point where, like, I'm like, I just need to leave y'all alone, because y'all not You're not at where I'm at. Like if you at the point of awareness, or you at the point where you take accountability, then you can hash stuff out. Then you could be like, okay, you can have a conversation. But if people are not at the point of awareness, or they're not the type to take accountability, you can't hash nothing out with them. They're going mentally. Y'all are not on the same frequency, and they got to go. But I was always raised, no, get back with your friend. You don't have to, like, So I went against my better instinct. So let me tell you. So there was this friend. I don't even know if I would call her. She was my friend. She's my friend. But I already knew, like, for some reason, I knew how to read people. And I had this young, and I ignored it. I ignored it for so many years, y'all. Ignored it for so many years. But I could just tell what type of person people are. I don't know how or how they walked or how they talked or what they did to make me God. Hey, beauties. So I planned to do a card chat about this toxic friendship that I had, but I ended up having a 2-hour video, and it seemed like Past Brittany needed to get out something else before that. So I'm going to split it into 2 videos. You guys can consider this like a part 1, and the next one will be a part 2. But we'll post a video of my toxic friendship, a story time about the toxic friendship. So if you want to hear that, and you guys like this video, then please leave a comment down below, put a like up, and make sure you subscribe if any of this resonated with you guys. And make sure you look for the second video. It'll be a part 2. It'll be a second video up of the toxic friendship. I don't know if I'm going to call it part 1 or part 2 or not. But yeah. Hi, beauties. Editing and Brittany here. I just wanted to kind of sum this whole video up because I'm not sure if I did. This one wasn't planned. I planned to do a card chat or a story time about my toxic friendship, and then it seemed like I had a whole lot of other things to say, and it just turned into a 2.5-hour video. So I'm going to split it up and either call it a part 1, part 2, or this will just be a card chat. And the second one will be a story time about my toxic friendship. So I know in the video I mentioned a little bit about it. It'll be another video after this, so you guys can hear the story time about that. It was a whole hot mess, so it's an interesting story. But if I could sum this whole video up, I guess it would probably be to fit in will only dim your light. If you try to fit in when you're destined to stand out, it'll just dim your light. It's going to crush your soul little by little by little. You got to follow your dreams, and then you'll become the whole person that you need to be. Because until then, you're just giving people are just chipping away at you. That's what I was trying to convey in this video. I kind of just felt like me not knowing the whole Brittany, the whole person I wanted to be at that time, and just growing, that was always a struggle. I think I just kind of finally realized that I was always struggling with what I thought, and I would never let it go, but I would let other people convince me that that's not how things go. That's not how, I always would feel like, nah, that's not right, but I would not sit in that. I would not live that way. I would always let people convince me of something different than what I believed in. I always would let a distraction or something come up that would tear me from my goals and from my purpose. I would always just try to, Crystals, what do you want? I'm not rubbing you right now. Everything don't want me to get this video out right now. Y'all didn't hear, but I just recorded this piece right here 3 times because my dog started barking. My daughter came out. All of a sudden, she wanted something to eat after she just had something to eat. And now this cat that I barely touch is on my leg asking me to rub her head. I don't understand what is going on in the universe right now. I hope y'all liked the video.